This week, we'll show you a hot spot in the South Loop.
We focus a lot on artisanal meats.
Plus, how to pick your melons for summer.
Voila!
Beautiful.
And our wine picks of the week.
Someone once said it dances on the palate. That rings true here.
It's all new and it's right now on Taste.
Welcome to Taste. I'm Jennifer Weigel here with Bridget Weiser-Bain from Cook From Scratch, and we're having a picnic.
Yeah, sounds good.
Now tell me about this pretty impressive plate I've got going. I love this,
isn't it
first
cool?
of all.
Yeah.
This is so sneaky. Okay, what's on this plate?
Well, we have a popover that has a coleslaw in it. Everything is basically room temperature. So we have coleslaw inside of there, not a mayonnaise base, it's a vinegar, sweet and sour base. And then we have a pork, shredded pork in there, like a smoked pork. And then next to that we have grilled asparagus. It's been blanched and then grilled. And then we have a herb goat cheese crostini with a sun-dried tomato pesto on top. And then this is a beef tenderloin and caramelized onion. I call them torpedoes, you know, kind of
Torpedoes?
fun. Yeah, they're easy to eat. It's all finger food and it's all room temperature, which is, it tastes great at room temperature, and it's also great for like the bacteria issue. You don't have to worry about, you know, the salmonella and, you know, the mayonnaise-based kind of things. So.
Right, so we don't want any major potato salads or Caesar salads when you're making a picnic.
No.
Well, we're going to find out about dessert a little bit later. But first, let's let our viewers get a hotspot segment.
Hi, I'm Sean McLean, and welcome to Custom House. We opened spring in 2001, which was a very Asian and seafood focused restaurant. We then, 2 years later, opened a vegetarian restaurant called Green Zebra, which is primarily vegetarian cuisine, small plates. And then we had an opportunity to come downtown. We really wanted to kind of complement what we already had and not compete with what we had. So we wanted to do something that was meat focused and a little bit more of a cosmopolitan downtown restaurant. So we looked to do Custom House, and that's what we've done. And as you can tell, it's kind of a contemporary, warm restaurant. We focus a lot on artisanal meats. Obviously, Chicago is known for steakhouses, and we wanted to do a little bit of a different spin on things here. We wanted to do more braised items where you don't get a chance to see in many restaurants. So we do short ribs, which is one of our most popular items. It's a really nice sized portion, and it's served with some little fried croquettes of potato filled with horseradish cream. Our short ribs are braised very slowly all day, and like an enriched meat stock. And so when they come out during the evening, they're just fork tender. They are completely just fall off the bone, literally. The next dish we're going to do is a braised baby lamb. And what we do, we get whole lambs and do different things with the lamb. We braise the legs. They're served kind of cassoulet style in a small cast iron pot with some white beans. And then we have one single chop, and we make some fennel sausage from the lamb as well. We're doing an appetizer of quail, and the quail is marinated and roasted and lacquered, so it's got a little bit of a glaze on it, and we serve it with a little puree of parsnip, a little onion beignet, and a little caramel sauce. And we do everything in-house. We butcher and really, you know, really try to stay in touch with the artisans that really are raising these animals, and they're quite beautiful. You know, we really try to set the best standards for service and meals, and not only great food, but really have a great experience as a whole. And that's the whole thing, to be comfortable in, you know, environment, great food and great service.
Hello, I'm Terry Adams, and we're here at Sonoma-Cutrer Vineyards, and these are my 2 wine picks of the week. My first wine pick is Sonoma-Cutrer Vineyards Russian River Ranches. This is our 2004 vintage. This is really the lion's share of what we produce here. This is actually a blend of 6 different vineyards, but I think a very good expression of what the region produces. Stylistically, this is a wine about freshness, vitality, speaks of life and pleasure, and you should try some. I get minerality, lemon, apple, pear, pineapple, just the faintest hint of oak, more in the vein of bread crust, which is where I like it to be. I don't like the oak to dominate the fruit. It should be all about fruit. I like to have this with sort of grilled halibut, scallops, seafood, excellent complement to seafood. I enjoy this with a good hamburger on occasion. It complements most foods. One of my favorite things in life is good Chardonnay. My second wine pick of the week is our 2003 Pinot Noir, Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir. This is a new kid on the block. This is our second release. Not making a lot of this wine, but it is all estate produced from fruit that we grow ourselves. Actually, the vines are now about 12 years old. Not found in very many markets at this point, only sold in restaurants. This Pinot Noir is not about big body and extract. It's about finesse and elegance, just as our Chardonnays are. This is a great complement to a meal that begins with Chardonnay and can finish with a wine that's more appropriate to maybe richer sauces and redder meats. I get good intensity, good raspberry, blueberry notes, floral, some violets even, and a little bit of wood tannin influence that makes my tongue come to life. I can feel the wine going down my throat and this echo of flavors coming back. Someone once said it dances on the palate, and that rings true here. And I'm Terry Adams, and we're at Sonoma-Cutrer Vineyards, and these were my 2 wine picks of the week.
Coming up, what you need to know about choosing your melons this summer.
Ah, so you smell it, huh?
Was that okay?
No.
Welcome back. I'm here having a picnic with Bridget Weiser-Bain from Cook From Scratch. Hi, Bridget.
Hi.
Now, I want to talk about drinks. First of all, this is really, really amazing. You've got a plate here that has a hole to hold your drink, which is really, really important. And it also cuts down on worrying about putting your drink down and having it fall over and spill.
Exactly.
So this is lemonade, and it's really icy and slushy. How did you prepare this?
Well, I squeezed my lemonade.
Do you really?
I did. I totally make my own lemonade. Room temperature lemons, squeeze them up and cut them up and throw it in a saucepan with some sugar and water. And then the key thing is for this, let it come to room temperature and then pour it into a bag, a plastic Ziploc bag, and then throw it in the freezer flat. Let it freeze flat.
Okay.
And then it comes out of the freezer rock hard. And then layer that with your food in the picnic basket. And
that keeps things kind of nice and chilled.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you don't have to have any separate ice packs because you've got, you know, lemonade. And what else do you have? It looks like a coffee slushy thing.
Yeah, we have an iced coffee here, kind of like a latte.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are the lemons in those containers over there?
This works out really well for my daughter's sippy cup too. If you were to fill up your glass, plastic glass half full, kind of tip it on an angle, and then put it in the freezer like this, then this becomes your ice cube. So there's some that's partially frozen in here. And it works out great because then you're not diluting something. It's just pure flavor.
So if people want to learn more about packing a picnic and get some of your tips because you are the expert, how do they reach you?
They can either call me at 312-559-0052 or cookfromscratch.com.
Oh, yum. I'm here with Tony from Peapod, and we are at the Chicago International Produce Market, and we have an assortment of melons. What are we going to start with today?
Let's start with cantaloupes.
Let me think. Which one? That'd be this guy.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer, very much.
Okay.
I want to test your knowledge. So can you tell me if that's a good cantaloupe?
Oh, gee.
Ah, so you smell it, huh?
Was that okay?
No. See, I see that a lot. People look at melons, they don't know how to pick a good cantaloupe.
That'd be me.
Some people shake them. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they're looking for there. But some people smell them. And if the melon's really cold, you're not going to smell anything. And that doesn't mean if it's good or bad. Now, in the produce business, the experts, what we do is we look at the slip. This little part of the melon right here is called the slip. And that's where the melon attaches to the plant.
Okay.
So what happens is when the melon is attached to the vine and it develops all that sugar and it's ready to pick, it gently pulls from the vine.
Okay.
Okay. And you see that, how it's nice and indented?
Yes.
Okay, if it's not ready to be picked, what happens is you've got to twist it off. And what happens is you got an outie
A little bump.
instead of an innie.
Okay, so then innie is a good thing.
Right.
Okay.
And you want to make sure it's nice and green, okay? I think you see how nice and green it is,
Yeah.
and firm. Because when the melon starts to go bad or it gets old, it'll get dark and it'll get very soft around here. And also you want to look at the netting, and you can see how the netting is really nice and golden color, and it's got beautiful netting all around. And where are we going to store this when we get it home?
It was cold, so I'd say we want to keep it cold in the fridge.
Keep it cold in the refrigerator. Before you use it, do me a favor, just leave it out at room temperature for about an hour.
Okay.
And again, the same thing happens as it happens in peaches and nectarines. The acid levels drop as it gets warmer, so you taste more of the sugar, and it's going to be juicier too. It's going to be a much more enjoyable piece of fruit.
Oh yeah,
Delicious.
perfectly good. So what's next?
Honeydews.
Okay.
And can you tell me how you would go out picking a good honeydew?
Oh my gosh, no clue. There's no innie or outie situation, so I would not know where to start.
And even for us that have been in the, that are experienced produce buyers, it's difficult to tell a good honeydew from the outside. What we're really looking for, the biggest indicator, is the color of the honeydew. The more white it is, usually indicates the less ripe it is. So we're looking for a nice cream color to it. So this has a nice cream, a creamier color to it. And you want to make sure it's firm. You know, some people think that the softer the melon, okay, that means it's more ripe. Well, that means it's overripe. If it yields a gentle pressure, that cantaloupe or that honeydew is overripe.
Okay,
So
here
let's
we
see
go.
if this is good.
Very good.
You know, believe it or not, too, honeydews are in the same family as cucumbers. So a bad tasting honeydew will taste like a cucumber, and they're very related to each other.
Interesting. It is good. All right, next melon.
This is the mother of all melons, watermelons.
I heard you like hitting on them. What's the deal with that?
So is that how you pick it? Well, the best way to do it, some people go like this.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really, what you want to do is you want to hold it in your hand, and you can kind of see this underside yellow. This is where it sits on the field.
Okay.
So it's resting it's growing like that. So you want to take your hand on the side and you want to pat that underside. Why don't you hold that and pat that?
Okay.
It's kind of heavy.
Oh,
And
jeez.
what you're looking for is that you want to see that, you want to feel resonance in it. So it's kind of
Yeah,
like,
it kind of vibrates.
kind of vibrates,
Yeah.
right. Now, if it doesn't vibrate, if you pat it and it's not vibrating, that means it's overripe inside or underripe, okay?
Oh, wow.
So, but if it resonates inside, then the more it resonates, the riper it will be. Voila.
Beautiful.
Beautiful is right.
Looks
so I
pretty red
guess
to
I was
me.
right again.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better and enjoyable than a really nice ripe watermelon on a nice hot summer day.
Thank you.
So, To be honest with you, I'm particularly passionate about watermelons. We taste test every lot that comes into Peapod. So you're almost guaranteed of having a great watermelon. And it's very healthy for you. Big, huge doses of vitamin C and potassium. So watermelon is a great fruit to enjoy all summer long, and kids love it too.
Oh yeah, they do. So if you want to order your fresh produce, go to peapod.com. And if you have a question for Tony, just send him an email at tasteontv@aol.com.
And get hooked on eating great fruits and vegetables.
It's easy if it all looks like this.
Hi, I'm Dennis Martin. Welcome to Fetzer Vineyards. Fetzer Vineyards started as a family operation in 1968. Barney Fetzer started the company. He had what would become 11 children, and they all eventually worked in the business. He was farming grapes, actually sort of mission grapes and wine grapes up there, and he began selling those grapes to East Coast winemakers, home winemakers, in lug boxes. And he got to thinking, well, shoot, you know, if they can make wine from my grapes, I ought to be able to do that too. So we started making wine in 1968 with the help of his children. And then by 1977, they were making about 40,000 cases or so, and they hired sort of their first winemaker, who was Paul Dolan. He initially got them started in 1977 to begin thinking about making white wines, because at the time they were only making red wines. Continued to grow the business, all the kids were involved, and it was really a great family effort. Barney died in 1981, quite suddenly, 61 years old, of a heart attack, and so the kids took up the challenge and took on the business and just continued to grow and develop the brand and build the brand. And then in 1992, we were about 2 million cases then. They decided that it was getting a little overwhelming. At that time, they sold the company to Brown-Forman Corporation, and they've continued to grow the business. And now we're producing around 4 million cases of all of our different brands. It's just been a great family success story. We are a brand that historically has over-delivered on quality. And that's always been our goal, is to provide a value to the consumer so that they really feel like they're getting more than what they paid for. And historically, that's been our success. I love what I do. I love winemaking. I love wine. I drink a lot of wine at home. But I think more than anything else, I think it's the people. It's really the people that we work with. The people that we have a lot of people that have been with us for a long time, and you just work hard. You try and get out there and you make the best wine you can. You try and give a consumer a good value for it, and hope that they'll support your brand and be a loyal consumer. And that's the best we can do. And that's our goal. That's what we're trying to do.
Welcome back. I'm here having a picnic with Bridget Weiser-Bain from Cook From Scratch, and it's time for the best part of a picnic, desserts. Yes. Now, it's important, I know, to make it easy. You don't want a lot of goo going around, so what did we pack today?
We have some soft spiced biscotti, and we have chocolate chip cookies that I think are great. If you pack them back to back, they don't crumble.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you make them look kind of like a sandwich.
Exactly. And then I like this one. This is a fresh fruit compote. We've got blueberries, which I kind of did a quick rinse at home, and then raspberries, which you really shouldn't rinse. And then I have fresh pineapple. And the pineapple was sitting in a Grand Marnier kind of simple syrup thing, and then toss it all together. So it's kind of
We just had
yummy.
some Grand Marnier syrup sitting around and thought we'd throw our pineapples in there. We all have that handy, don't we? But it is very, very tasty, and it looks really, really pretty in that nice cup as it's placed here on the side of your plate. Now, speaking of gadgets and fun things for picnics, it's important to have the right tools, is it not?
Yeah, it's just it's basically just a real simple little basket nice little cutting board for cheese. Something else that was that came in it that was really kind of nice is like a little serrated, not really a knife, but like a spreader. So it kind of, you know, serves as a knife and a spreader. So that was kind of fun.
So it's got areas for your glasses, it's got areas for a wine key, and you know, you can put silverware on the side.
Right. Came with the silverware and all that fun stuff. It's your basic old-fashioned basket, I think, you know?
With all of the necessary upgrades.
Exactly.
And what is that?
This is a French press, and what's nice about it is it's basically acting like a thermos for me. So I've got, you can put your iced coffee in here, or I've got some chai tea in there, and just a great way to keep it nice and cold for you.
So if you would like some more tips from Bridget from Cook From Scratch, just go to cookfromscratch.com, or they can call
312-559-0052.
Excellent. Thanks, Bridget, for doing
Thank
this.
you.
Yummy, yummy food. I'm Jennifer Weigel. We'll see you next week.
Kind of seal off the whole top.
Oh, yeah, so then it won't leak everywhere.
Exactly.
Whoa, like my lemonade almost did because it fell over. Let's all note that this is June in Chicago, and we are freezing our bums off as we have this fabulous picnic with our iced drinks that we wish were steaming hot.
Frozen chai tea I've got in here, and it's just keeping it nice and cold for me, you know?
Oh my
Once
God.
it thaws out, I'll get that thing
She's
down.
shattering right now, so it's great. Let's have some chai.
I wish it was hot
It's
now.
so cold.